Good evening, friends. Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Jabu Sports Report. Without you guys, this literally does not work. Oh boy, it's Tuesday night. This week is a big week. Interesting day for the Washington football team. So the Washington football team thinks they've settled on two names. They got two names that they're really interested in. And I was like, oh, wait, okay, I thought they were going to stick with the Washington football team. I thought that was pretty much a done deal, that they weren't actually going to have a mascot. You know, that way they don't really have to change anything. All they got to do is keep the W because Dan Snyder's cheap. And it turns out the two names are the Washington football team or the Washington Football Club. Okay. Then you hear Dan Snyder apparently had to settle a lawsuit for sexual harassment with a former employee, something that happened on his private jet for $1.6 million. And then, of course, there's the whole feud between him and the minority owners that they want to get out of the Washington football team. And then, if that wasn't enough, you had Dwayne Haskins, their quarterback, have pictures of him posted Sunday night after they lost to Seattle at a strip club with a woman on his lap, a pile of money, and then a booty right in front of him. Without socially distancing. Now, it's not a bad thing to go to strip club. Man's 23 years old, got a lot of money. You know, I get that. You're going to want to do that. But see, this is against the NFL rules. And currently, I think he's the only healthy quarterback on the roster since Alex Smith is out and Kyle Allen is out, which this could be a conundrum for the Washington football team. You remember in training camp when there was a Raiders player, Seattle Seahawks player who tried to sneak a woman into his room, dressed her up as a player, and tried to pass him off as a teammate, and he immediately got kicked out? Well, the rules from the NFL are if you break COVID protocol are supposed to be severe. That could lead up to a 4-game suspension. So I'm curious if he's going to be allowed to play because clearly he broke COVID protocol. Now, the Washington football team, they're, of course, talking with the NFL and probably working it out. But I think about the Denver Broncos, who, because their quarterbacks all had COVID or were in protocol, they literally had to have a wide receiver play quarterback. And this brings me to my conspiracy theory. We know conspiracy theories are the rage right now. Here's what's going to be crazy. And here's why I think that the Dallas Cowboys get a win this weekend. I know everybody is on the Jalen Hurts train and that Carson Wentz stinks. I told you, Philly 500, you know, you're coming at me and everything else. You're coming at me in your video. It was kind of weak. I got to be honest with you. You know, Pizzle, you know, he knows how to come strong to the mic or the YouTube camera. He knows how to bring the heat. Sorry, man. That was just like your team. It was weak. I told you Carson Wentz was terrible. I've been telling you that for a long time. Now you're all of a sudden in love with Hurts. Oh yeah, Hurts, great pick and all that. You know, you remember, you know, about 8-9 months ago, you were up there talking about, you know, fire Howie Roseman. What are they doing? This team's so good that, you know, we don't need, another receiver. We're going to draft a quarterback. Yeah, it was actually pretty smart now. So you owe that man an apology, by the way. Just say it. But here's my conspiracy theory. 1, Philly 500 wants Joe Boo to lose his head. I don't know that Joe Boo has any powers or not, but if he does, I would think that this week would be the week that he kind of puts it out. I'm just saying, when you're talking about losing your head, you know, when you've got everything on the line, I'm going to look at Joe Boo's power. But besides that, let's take him out of the equation. I'll deal with Philly 500 later. But if you're the NFL after that shit sandwich of a game that you put on Sunday night of the Giants and the Cleveland Browns. You know you messed up. As bad as the Dallas Cowboys are, they're still a draw. Let's call a spade because, Cowboy fans, we're going to watch. Those who hate the Cowboy fans or are loving that we're in misery, they're going to watch. And the NFL is scratching their heads because the ratings for that game were in the toilet. I mean, it was so bad that Pizzle was falling asleep during the game. He was live streaming. That's why he wore glasses, because he kept nodding off. At least they didn't, they don't see my eyes. I'm going to take a nap here because ain't nothing happened. Yeah, man, Cowboy fans, you're terrible. Yeah, I heard him snoring. I did. So here's the thing. Haskins will probably get suspended, hurting the chances for the Washington team to win because they won't have a quarterback. Because the NFL, if you're the NFL, you want drama. You want drama. And with all the stuff that's going on and coming down the tailpipe of the Washington football team, finding out that the owner has paid, had to pay for sexual misconduct, that you got a quarterback who's in the strip club instead of doing COVID protocol, a team that's lost its name, the infighting between the owners. You don't really want to have that in the playoffs. You don't want that to be the topic of conversation that first week in playoffs. I don't think you do. Now, it may end up being that they get there, but what bigger storyline would it be if Washington loses to the Panthers and they have to play against the Eagles to try and get in? Oh, wait, there's more. There would be a better storyline. Better storyline for a division that is meaningless. Let's be clear here. We all stink, okay? But can you imagine if by chance the NFC East came down to the Dallas Cowboys versus the New York Giants, a la Jason Garrett? Can Jason Garrett, after the 8-8, failing to get in, the storylines of Jason Garrett winning to get in, having to win to get into the playoffs? Doesn't matter if they win or lose. That will be talked about it would be huge. Could Jason Garrett exercises the ghost of the Dallas Cowboys? Can the Dallas Cowboys turn it around? That storyline after being jolted of having Sunday night, after being disrespected from having Pro Bowl players, that like a phoenix, that they rise from the ashes to make it to the playoffs. Because the reality is, Washington makes the playoffs, whoopie-doo. They're going to be sacrificial lambs, okay? Big deal. They're in. The Giants I'm telling you, if you believe in conspiracy theories, if you think that the NFL is rigged, I'm sorry, this is the dream matchup, at least for a shit division. The Giants and the Cowboys play, it would be flexed. They would flex that game to Sunday night. They would, I think this Sunday night. Last game, I don't know. But it would be a primetime matchup. They would do that. So that's my conspiracy theory. One other thing too. Van Der Esch. He was right about his ankle. He said it's a high ankle sprain. It's nothing broken. He had the MRI, and he's right. It's a high ankle sprain, and we'll be missing several weeks. So unless we make the playoffs, Van Der Esch is done for the regular season, or for this season, which is kind of bad because now you're looking at him and wondering if he's going to have that injury-riddled career, much like Sean Lee. He can be a really good player when he's healthy, but you got to stay healthy because your best ability is your availability. And Doesn't bode well. So that's all I got to say about that. I'm going to go in here. I'm going to take me a shower. I'm going to go to bed, get some rest, and get ready to go to my day job tomorrow because like they always tell me, don't quit your day job because there ain't no future here for you on the YouTube. All right, y'all. Be safe out there. Please, please. COVID is no joke. COVID has made it all the way to the Arctic Circle labs up there. If it can get up to the Arctic Circle up in that cold, you know it can go anywhere. So be safe, man. So we can get through this thing, and then next year we can start going back to football games. All right. I'll see you guys. Peace.